So for today's episode of Prop Review, we are reviewing my old Iron Man Mark I arc reactor from Iron Man.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
That's because it's a miniaturized arc reactor. We got a big one powering my factory at home. It should keep the shrapnel out of my heart.
But what could it generate?
If my math is right,
And it's not.
it was this 3 gigajoules per second.
So this arc reactor is not the arc reactor from Iron Man 2. This is the one he made in the cave, right here. This is the one that's supposed to look like the one he made in the cave. So Iron Man was captured and he was in a cave, and he had just metal, scrap metal, and different things, and he used palladium as the core. So, but obviously I didn't use palladium here. I used a bunch of other different things I had around the house, and this is and for the Iron Man 2 version, he used vibranium as the core for the power source. So this one is the one he made for Iron Man 1 to keep him alive in the cave. So I'll explain how I did this, and so yeah. So it turns out palladium is radioactive, but it doesn't give off nearly as much power, 3 gigajoules per second, as Tony said. It doesn't give nearly as much. That amount of power is astronomical. Okay guys, so the actual arc reactor is composed of 3 different pieces. The front ring, the middle base piece where the light is, where I'm housing the light part of it, and the back part, which is basically for show. So I'm going to start off with the middle part. The middle part is a duct tape roll that I covered in black electrical tape, and then I put a puck light, which is something you would find under your, or you would put under your cabinets, so you can see under your cabinets. And this puck light in particular uses 3 AAA batteries, and when you put that in, I just put the puck light conveniently fit in the cardboard duct tape roll, and so I just put it inside. I hot glued the thing inside, and then it has a little like cap to put on the back of it, so it covers the batteries. And I glued that to a piece of a plastic cup, and I cut it in half, so it makes it look like the back piece is tapering down of the arc reactor. Then I wrapped the whole thing up back here in black electrical tape. Then I ran a hole in the back of the cup, and I ran some just random wire. So then this right here is composed of a hot glue stick, like this one right here is composed of a hot glue stick and then some zip ties over it. I use the black zip ties, and then I use these wire runners that I put around them, and I used actual copper wire, which I took some normal like wiring, and then I used a knife and I stripped it out of the wires, and then I wrapped it around here, so I want to make it as thick as possible. And then I used a piece of like a folder, and then I used a hole puncher like this. I used a hole puncher to punch the holes in for this, like you can see right here. I have a bunch of holes right there, so to make it line up with those holes, and then I used some, and then I glued that to the actual base of the reactor, which is right here. And then I cut a hole in the middle, and then I used some yellow wiring, and I glued that all together, so you can see that wrap around it. And then I have these little like prongs on the side of this to hold this key ring in. So I actually used a real key ring again here, real key ring. And I used a real key ring in here, and then I glued on the glue stick Oh, and by the way I got the glue stick to form this way, I basically just put the glue stick, I wrapped it inside a duct tape roll, and then I used a heat gun to heat it up, and then I put it in the freezer after I was on heating it up, and then when I took it out of the freezer, it was done, and so it would stay the shape. Then I just glued the two ends together, and it made a ring. So then when the light turns on, it diffuses. So the way you turn on the light is you take a pinky, and it has a sensor in here. You gotta kind of find it sometimes. Yeah, there you go. And then the light, it turns on. So that's how it shines up, and surprisingly, this actually does not use much battery. I've actually run this with the batteries a long time on, and it did really well. I've only had to change it once, and I made this over a year ago. So I think it's really well. It's definitely bright. You can use a diffuser. I used a diffuser for a while, but then I started not liking the diffuser. So then I just basically now I just keep it on display in my room. So this is basically how I did it. And yeah, so this is how I did it, and I think it came out really well. I think it's one of my favorite things I've ever made. So yeah, I hope you guys like this too. So this is what the arc reactor looks like, and yeah, I like it. So that's what the actual thing looks like, and so that's what it looks like all around. There's some more photos of the finished arc reactor. And these photos you can also find on my Instagram too. I posted a bunch of these photos on there, so yeah, go over there and go check that out and go follow me on Instagram. And yeah, so this is basically the rest of the video. Jarvis, did I miss anything?
No, sir, I think you did very well at explaining the arc reactor, and don't forget to tell them, sir, to like and subscribe.
Well, as Jarvis said, like and subscribe, and this is the video. Thank you guys for watching on Cardboard Props. Bye.